Hello, everyone. So my name is Radovan. Some of you might know me. I might be the senpai of some of you. So yeah, I graduated Nitobe last year in September, the honors in September, and I had a very good time, as I'll explain to you. And basically, I just want to show you guys how Nitobe I went through this journey of achieving confidence, leadership, and a lot of design, basically. So just a little bit of introduction about myself. Uh, we so anyway, so yeah, I'm from the Graduate School of Environmental Science. I'm a mech student, and my research is about testing lactic acid bacteria for bulk glucose production, including optimization of the culture conditions, blah blah blah. This is very different from what you're gonna do in Nitobe. So as Dale said, this program does really bring in people from very diverse educational backgrounds. And what I've learned in Nitobe, I've definitely put into and applied to my own research as well. I have hobbies like traveling, cooking, being active, not like this anymore, and also Japanese culture. I love anime. And in addition to that, I part of a startup from the campus that you may or may not know called Floatmeal that grows the said duckweed as human-based food, and we're developing microbial technology for making production more sustainable. If you want to connect with me, you can just like scan these QR codes over here. And I mentioned before where I'm from, but does anyone actually know where North Macedonia is? Question, serious question. Does anyone know where North Macedonia is? Except for my kohai, who already know. Does anyone know? Hands up. I've told you guys like 3 or 4 times now. Nobody? Don't worry about it. Why? I'll tell you soon. So, my country is here in the Balkans. So, everybody heard of the Balkans before? So, the Balkans is the small southeastern part of Europe that most people think is just Russia, or just most of Eastern Europe. And so, yeah, my country is right here in the middle, and it's surrounded by Bulgaria, Serbia, Albania, Greece, and depending on who you ask, Kosovo. And so we are a small landlocked country, completely different, completely the opposite of Japan. And the capital is Skopje. I grew up in Stromica, and I also have family on the western side of the country. We have 3 lakes, but no sea. General info, it's 1/3 the size of Hokkaido, population is 7 Sapporo, and the language is Macedonian and also Albanian administratively. I don't speak it, I just speak Macedonian. Anyway, special point, as I mentioned before, yeah, I'm the only one at Fed University, the first and only one Fed University from my country. I know because I keep checking this registry every year. So yeah, that's me right there, first and only. Yeah, first Macedonian in general, first bachelor, first master's. I'll leave the PhD for somebody else. Yeah, and it's the most up-to-date information on the Fed University National Student Data Census. Moving on. So my history at time of Fed University. So again, I went from my small country and traveled 10,000 kilometers to come all the way to Japan, just like a lot of you have also traveled very long distances to come and study in Japan. And me in a plane arrived. Actually, no, it was 3 planes. So I joined Fed University as a bachelor student at the integrated science program. Yeah, for the 2 of you in this room, these are familiar faces here. Some of them also finished Nitobe course in March. Yeah, so it's a bachelor and also master's for foreign students, but I decided to go a different path and go with next. And then I also, during my bachelor's, I joined the startup Floatmeal with my senpai and my teammate Moana, who is a Hokkaido University student at Hakodate at the School of Fisheries. And then, yeah, it was very sunny that day. I couldn't keep my eyes open when we were taking the photo. And then I joined, during my bachelor's, I joined my lab at the Graduate School of Environmental Science. And then when I continued with the master's, I continued in the same lab doing expanding my research basically as a mech student. And then I was recommended to try Nitobe College from my peers and my senpais. And I was not sure, just like you, I had no idea what I was getting into. And I was just like walking in and I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I've recommended this course. I've heard it's very important. So I'm like, I heard about this. Let's give it a shot. And before Nitobe, this is getting a little bit personal, but basically, I was someone who didn't want to challenge himself. I was someone who used to just follow what everyone tells him. And I had very little direction or vision of what I want to do for my future. And I thought I had this like kind of the opposite of a superiority complex, I had an inferiority complex. And I thought that the way I act and how it went about was kind of childish or immature. But with Nitobe, I discovered that everyone has their own way and their way of tackling issues and problems and how they deal with learning new things. That's why with Nitobe, there's always a chance for you to utilize whatever expertise you have. You think you might have very little, but actually it might be a lot, and it could be very important and valuable for the team you join. And you could just widen your potential and learn things that you didn't think you were capable of doing afterwards or even before. So during my time at foundation program, now called the pre-program, there are many important lessons I learned. One was teamwork and communication. That's why, for me, one of the most important things when you work with me is communication. Doesn't matter to me if you really like are very excited to do something, or if you feel like you're busy. You have to tell someone exactly how you're feeling and how you can contribute to the shared goal you have. Next is project management leadership. So I had heard about project management, and before Nitobe, I didn't think I was much of a leader. I thought I was more of a follower. But being a part of teams in our pre-program, I learned that no, actually, I have good leadership because I can communicate with people and be able to empathize and sympathize with people by being able to like find compromises to many issues we have. Because again, you're working with diverse people, so you need to find that middle ground where all of you can work together to achieve your shared goal. And lastly, good digital design for presentations. Yeah, you can see there, it's very nice. But with this program, I participate in other projects, and we had to make presentations. Didn't have to, but it was a good opportunity to make a slide and a design that's easy to communicate your idea and your vision and all the work you've put in with the team. These are some of the ideas, some of the projects we worked on together, and I was involved with the design of all of them. For some of them, I was also the one who was the main person in charge of designing and making the layout. And all of them were great projects that I look back on fondly because they were the beginning of my love of just designing and sharing my ideas through visual presentations. Yeah, and like if that's me before joining to be right there, because I'm like, wait, I can be an effective leader in my own style. I tried something new and I learned a lot, but that was a surprise for me. And I have a vision for where I can be in the future. All that I gained through the many activities I'm involved with Nitobe. And then, yeah, you can do this too if you come and join and try out Nitobe for yourself. Again, each person has their own journey, and I don't guarantee what I have learned and gained is something that you'll gain, but definitely you'll be able to learn something new about yourself and be able to kind of make your future path clearer to yourself, whichever direction you might think it will lead to. And now moving on to advanced program, or the global course as it's known now. I felt more excited. It's like I want to continue with advanced. And even though like I couldn't apply for the scholarship, that still didn't deter me. It's like I still want to do it just because I had so much fun and I learned a lot from the previous program. So I want to refine. I want to develop the skills I think I have to make them even better. So I moved on and I work with these lovely boys over here. We in the advanced, and you'll do with your teammates. So with advanced, you have the same team. Is it the same team for the entire course? Not okay. Typically, what you do in advanced is that you choose 3-4 people, and you'll typically be with them for the entire global course. So I was working with these 3 individuals over here, where we made these 2 projects. So the top project was related to SDGs, and we chose SDG number 2, zero hunger, where we came up with an idea for using composting to reduce waste and increase food production in Kenya. It's a case study. And yeah, we didn't have to wear suits, but we wanted to do it just for practicing how to be a professional, how to professionally present your idea in front of a panel of people and judges. So it was very good practice, and we had to really like practice a lot for how we're going to present. And then the bottom photo, but yeah, and actually before I continue, sorry. So with this project, which I'm the most proud of, is that where I really fleshed out my leadership and coordination, because for these guys are okay, but again, there's so much that I wanted to do where I had to really take the helm. I had to take the lead and really show them what they were supposed to do in order for them to know exactly what their part was and how they can contribute to the project. So these are the two things I learned from this first half of our global course. And moving to the bottom, we did like a project where we tried to look for the obstacles for elderly volunteer groups in Sapporo. And yes, in this photo, I am wet because I cycled in the rain. It was a very rainy day, but I'm very committed to cycling. We went to many different locations around Sapporo and interviewing different elderly volunteer groups in like museums, in like centers where they help foreigners or foreigners or students living in Japan, or people who help with like fitness and making sure and have like neighborhood watches and stuff like that. And then from this project, two things I learned is delegation of tasks, where for this, we had to do a lot of interviews and field work. So we really had to assign who is going to be doing the interview, like asking the questions, making the questions, and also research like, okay, when are we going to do this? Who are we going to interview? And like, is that person okay for us to interview them or even potentially record them so we can have their answers for us to like develop our hypothesis and see if it's true or not. And yeah, so these are the things I learned a lot. And again, these were like the advanced for me was more fun than, the global was more fun for me than the pre-program. And this is how it felt the whole time. So advanced global course especially is a lot of work. That's how it felt for me. Again, your team might be more balanced, but I guess that's why I have to emphasize that you have to really carefully choose your teammates, because you don't want to be the one who's taking up most of the work, even though it'll still be rewarding in the end. But you want to have a more balanced team where you could equally be doing all of the running around, but also taking up a lot of the responsibilities as well. So yeah, about that. And then after Nitobe College, I felt differently about myself. I viewed myself, I looked into a mirror and I thought this to myself, is like, I want to try a lot of new things, because Nitobe encourages trying new things, trying a new approach. And I learned that actually I can lead people in my own way. I have good communication. I can relate with people. I can build trust and relationships. And I want to participate in many activities. I've already done Nitobe. I've also done float meal. What else can I do? And I actually was invited so I used what I learned, and I was invited to be in last year's Whole Prize committee. You might have heard of Whole Prize. It's one of the other big events at Hokudai in addition to Nitobe, where students recruit other students to come and make their own business idea and present it in front of a panel of experts in the world of startups and entrepreneurship. And I was invited in this committee by the TA at the course at the time, Gaurav, who's now graduated with a PhD, is now in India. Bless him, because he's the one who invited me to join the team. And I am so happy that I got the offer for him to join it, because it was a very good experience. And I really could use and just see the growth I had made from Nitobe. And and I just made it even better, and it became better at it as I was participating in the team. Oh yeah, what was I doing in Whole Prize? Yeah, I was in charge of student outreach and experience, where it was just recruiting people, also sharing what we want to do with Whole Prize. In addition to that, I was recommended to design for the mentor farm, which I was so excited to do. Yep, microphone's not working. Design for the mentor farm. And that was something that I really had fun doing. And lastly, I improved my Japanese. I tried something new. So that was a very tough time for me, but I was able to get N3 and now I got N2 and I'm going to try to get N1 in July. So again, doing a lot of things. It's tough, but it's exciting. And in conclusion, it's just a chapter, a verse I like. So in the world, you will have tribulation. So with your own research, with Nitobe in your life, you'll have so much tribulation and trouble, but you take heart. It's like you've already overcome the world, which means that you already have what it takes. You'll finish Nitobe. You will learn a lot. You'll make new friends and memories, and it'll be worth it no matter how much pain, how much stress you go through. It'll all be worth it in the end. And that is all. So do you have any questions? I accept questions in English or Japanese. Thank you.